Alright, I've got my fancy streaming setup here. Alright, there we go. Gonna have to remember to come through and delete that. I am not sure. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. I'm going to close that window. I actually have two computers going. One is the stream service, and then the other is the actual computer. So, okay. So it was really a quick process to make a outline of the 38, and what I had showed Dad was the basically just the quick process. So I've already got the picture of the 38 ready to go. All I had to do was come up to here, click on import, and the default import options should be just fine. So we've got our picture here, and then I came up to object. No, I'm sorry, I came up to path. Oh yeah, I can record this. As a matter of fact, I think it might. Tell you what, let me start over, so that way I don't have a lot of the extra stuff. So this stream is going to go down for a moment, and then it's going to start right back up. That way we don't have the extra stuff, because I'm not sure if I can edit it directly or if I would have to go through and download it, re-up. Okay, we're back, or we should be back. I'm going to give this a moment for the actual preview to show up. Alright, looks like we're good. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is we're just going to take a photograph of a P38 and turn it into an outline for laser cutting. Let me just go ahead and pull up what I am working on here. So what I did for this photo I'm about to pull up is I had taken a white piece of paper, put the 38 special on it, and just using the flash on my camera and the on my phone camera and my just getting as straight down as I could, took the photo and then proceeded to cut out a lot of this extra area that was around it. So just so we get this nice flat white high contrast look to it. So what you'll want to do, and what I did a little bit earlier, is that I did the basic import. Just go up to File, Import. I'll import it again, and it comes up with this option screen. The default should be fine. The only thing is that you might just want to make sure if there's a lot of people using the computer and they've been making changes to Inkscape itself, then it might be different. but really the default should be fine. And that came up because I canceled the operation. So once you have your photo here, you come up here to path, and then you click on trace bitmap. So if we go back up to brightness cutoff, and then we want to make sure that the outline of the gun looks solid, because if we have it, say if we set it too low, it's going to be, we're going to start losing edges of the gun. And if we have it set up too high, then it's just going to be a large blob. So you want to find a nice even setup here between the two. Yeah, you'll start to lose like the edges here. So I think 450 was looking pretty good. If you can't see the numbers right here, I'm just looking at the threshold. It looks like it's at 0.5 right now. I'm going to set it to about 0.450, which seems to be pretty good. So if we hit OK, it's going to create this background here. And this picture is no longer relevant. If you want to keep it up for reference for whatever reason, that's fine. But really what you'll want to do is just get rid of it. Just make sure it doesn't interfere with what you're working on this one right here. So we've got our 38 special outline here, but it still has a bit of this extra stuff. So we're going to come up here to the edit paths by nodes. If you use Illustrator, it's going to say vertices, vertexes. Inkscape says nodes. Same thing. And we're going to go through, and all these gray spots, I'm going to zoom in. All this extra stuff that we have on the inside here, we're going to get rid of. And all you have to do for that is you go up to that tool, select a section, and hit delete. And we're just going to go through and clear out all that extra stuff. You don't have to do it all at once, and the shapes, which use a lot of Bezier curves apparently, will do some pretty interesting things once you delete certain nodes. Like you'll notice that these the handles for the curves start to go all over the place, but we really don't have to worry about those because they're all going to be deleted at some point anyway. So just go through, clear those out, clear all of those. And this is kind of the part where I wish I had a turkey prepared. And unfortunately, you can't really, with this live trace, you can't, as far as I know in Inkscape, you can't select the shape and delete things that way, or delete the whole shape within the shape. And there might be a way to do that, I'm just not aware of it. Because if that's the case, it might actually be a lot easier without having to gingerly select the right shapes. And I had mentioned before that it's always good to zoom in, because I've had a lot, when I was first checking this out, that kind of hid in a lot of areas, like in the hammer here. Here's this little spot that I would have ignored if I not zoomed in, it wouldn't have shown up. So I think that's everything, so I'm going to zoom back out. Alright, so we've got that, and it's looking pretty clean. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these edge shapes, or these edge nodes, and we'll get kind of a nice Art Deco look on the gun as we're doing it. And once you delete all the nodes, then that just leaves the outline. So this is, by rights right here, this is the complete outline. This is the finished product. Inkscape just has it filled in, so it's not really a cutout. It is actually just a path. So just to the next thing is to shape it. or not shape it, but resize it. And just for reference, I will import my measurement. Which the photo itself seems to be pretty big. But what I had done is I had taken 2 points of reference that were easy to find on both the gun and on the silhouette here. So I'm using on this measurement, I'm using, oh, that zoomed in a little bit farther than I was expecting. I used the crook of the front sight here and measured to about this point right here. So on the actual gun, that measures about 6 3/8 inches. Admittedly, on this example, that's not a very precise measurement. So when you're actually working on this on a gun that you're going to cut a thing out for, I can talk today, you might want to measure a lot better than with a wooden school ruler. So we've got this tool right here, which will measure different points. And what I didn't mention is you want to come up here with the measurement tool and set that to inches. So I'm going to come up here to the crook of the gun, to the bottom of the hammer here, and that measures about 14.56 inches. And if you want that to stay where you want that measurement to stay where it is, then you're going to have to right click and then kind of click off the context menu to get it to stay. So we've got that. I'm going to pull up the calculator here. So our actual gun is 6. Gotta remember my math here, 375. And then we'll divide that by the 14.56. And that comes with about 43.7% if we're going to round up, or 43.8%. So what will come over here is the transform tool is already open, but if you're looking for it or it hasn't been opened over here on the side, what you'll do is come up to Object, Transform, and then it should appear. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger up here. We'll come over here to the Scale tab, and we'll make sure that Scale Proportionately is checked marked, so it'll change both of them. And then kind of like the import options, you might want to just make sure that percentage or percent is selected here. And we'll just enter in the 43.7. And if we hit apply, it would help if we had the gun selected. And then we hit apply. There we go. So that'll bring the gun down, and if we do another measurement, that should read about 6.35. So that's kind of close. We might want to adjust it. I might have made it maybe 43.8% would give us a little more, something a little more accurate. Or if we wanted to really get in there, you copy, there we go. Oh, it's just going to round up to the nearest decimal anyway. So now the gun should be accurate. You might have to mess around a little bit with the actual size to get it to look right. But at this point, this is to scale. It is a path. What you can do too is if you want to make sure you have the proper outline, or if you want to get a better look at it, you can come up to Object, click on Fill and Stroke, and mine appeared down here, but it might also appear up here. And what you'll do is hit the X for Fill, and if you come up to Stroke, you hit a solid color, a flat color, and that'll give you this outline. And then Stroke Style, you can make adjustments to the line itself to make sure that it's and it looks like I've missed a couple of spots right here because I didn't check myself. But there you have it. It's that is a vectored line. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure on how to export that or import that into any other programs this way. This is my my first time on Inkscape in a very long time. If you want to change I'm not even sure if this is necessary, but if you want to change the document setup to, say, have it on landscape, if that's necessary for what you're importing, you can just go to Document Properties and make the changes there. But that's what I got. So if there's any questions, just let me know. Now I have to remember how to turn the stream off. Export as DXF. Okay, let's try that out. File. Object. Okay.